All right, guys. So, this was announced a few weeks ago. I just never really got around to it, and I apologize. But I wanted to give my thoughts and also talk about, like, what should future Evil Dead movies be like? Now, as we know, Evil Dead the Evil Dead franchise is getting more movies. After how well Evil Dead Rise did, Sam Raimi has said, with Bruce Campbell also backing it up, is that yes, we are getting more future Evil Dead movies in now like 2 to 3 years rather than like 10-year gap, which I think is really cool. I think the Evil Dead franchise has been kind of like Evil Dead Rise really like breathes some new life into the Evil Dead franchise, and now it's really cool to see like where could we go next. Obviously, Sam Raimi and Campbell and everyone else a part of that are going to be in charge and making sure that everything is being done in their best power to keep it, as close to the source material as they can. But I digress. I think this is a really cool thing that's about to happen, but the big question we have to ask ourselves now is, what do you do now with the almost said Doctor Who franchise, with the Evil Dead franchise? Jesus, it was a long day. Long day at work. What do you do with the Evil Dead franchise? Well, I know a lot of people have said like multiple things, and we're going to talk about a lot of those ideas and whatnot, and also give my thoughts on what could be done with the Evil Dead what to be done with the Evil Dead franchise. I really do think that one of the things that need to happen with the Evil Dead franchise, first and foremost, is Evil Dead Rise, as well as the Evil Dead 2013 movie. I don't really consider it a remake. It is clearly meant to be in continuity with the rest of the franchise. So the 2013 Evil Dead movie and Evil Dead Rise has proven that we can do movies without Ash, that we can do movies without those characters. It is very well and clear that this franchise is about the Deadites, not Ash. Now, the big question is, now having said that though, do we still need Ash? I think in some capacity, yes. I think we do need Ash, but not in the major role. Remember, Bruce Campbell is pushing well over 70. He can't be doing all of those big action stunts. I think that Ash needs to be more of a mentor role, and we need to have like a franchise that is focused more as that the Deadites are the characters that we're following, and we follow all these other characters and the effects of what the Deadites are capable of. Like, that's what I feel like the people left in the Deadites' wake. Now, what made the Evil Dead franchise different, though, is that the horror icon wasn't the villain, it was the hero. So that's why I think people love Ash so much, because he's this cocky guy who is just a regular Joe who ran into some serious trouble and became this quippy hero to fight against the darkness. And that's why I think Evil Dead has a lot of uniqueness among so many people, is because and love towards it, is because there is a lot of love for the character of Ash. And to say that the Deadites should be the main focus, which I think they've all even Campbell has said, Ash was never the main focus. The main focus was the Deadites. So to have the Deadites as the main focus, I think is still viable. I personally think it's still viable, but I do see a need for Ash as whether a mentor role or someone who's trying to shepherd over a new generation of people. It would be, and this is going to sound weird. This is going to genuinely sound weird, but let me explain. I think Ash should be the Nick Fury of this new Evil Dead universe. I think he's getting Ash has come to the point where he has gotten too old and too mentally fucked up by battling the Deadites for so many decades that he has essentially been I can't do it anymore. My body's so fucking broken. I can't I can barely lift a chainsaw anymore. And I need people who can fight, who have seen what the Deadites are capable of and fight it. So that's why I feel I would love Ash in the roles, but I don't need him in every single Deadite movie. It would be cool to have him in some movies, but we have moved past, like I said, The last two Evil Dead movies have proven we don't really, we don't need Ash all the time. Now, now that's just my 2 cents on it. Now, as for other things I'd like to see where they could go with the Evil Dead franchise, I have a few ideas. I genuinely have a few ideas. One being, I want to see another Evil Dead movie set in the Middle Ages. I would love to see a actual medieval Dead movie. Actually, give it the name Medieval Dead, as Sam Raimi wanted from day one for Evil Dead 3, Medieval Dead, and just call it Medieval Dead. Have it as this dark, it has a funny title, but it's a dark, folk horror kind of thing. Just get fucking, I don't know, what's his name? The guy who directed The Northman and Witch and not Ari Aster. What's his name? The guy, he's doing Nosferatu remake, he's done The Northman, The Lighthouse, The Witch. Imagine a Evil Dead movie like that. And it's actually kind of funny because we do have an Evil Dead movie like that, but it's called When Evil Lurks, which, by the way, you guys should check out. But just be prepared, it will really bum you out. Don't go in there thinking it's going to be even though I just said I compared it to a modern-day Evil Dead movie, it's not funny. It's really, it will depress the shit out of you, and also go in with a strong stomach. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, it was kind of this dark folk hero kind of folk horror, this folk horror kind of story, and that's what I'd like to see that done in a medieval setting. That would be really cool. I would also love to see a Evil Dead story set in a different era of time. One era in particular, which would be a lot of fun, would be the 1920s. I would love to see an Evil Dead movie set during the age of the golden age of gangsters. Have a mafia group break in, steal the book, and be like, "What the fuck is this?" And they read it, and now it's gangsters versus evil versus Deadites, and you have Deadites using Tommy guns. It'd also be kind of fun, just kind of I know it's a total 180 from what I said of a dark folk horror kind of story, but this one would be the fun one, where this one you could have, this is one of Ash's, you could have one of the characters as Ash's ancestors. This is his great grandfather who was a member of the Italian mob and fought the Deadites, but didn't know what they were, so he never really talked about it. And also, it drove him crazy at the end, so no one really believed him. That would be kind of that's how you get Ash. You get a Ash Williams character in these movies. That's the other thing about the Evil Dead franchise on a whole. You could either go full evil or full crazy. You could do a nice combination of both. Again, with Evil Dead Rise, where it had funny, kind of dark humor moments, as well as you could have movies that are full evil, full just fuck you. This is dark and just straight up just evil, and then you have fun Evil Dead 2 stuff. That's where I think this franchise could be, is that it could go from horror to bloody Looney Tunes, and you could get away with doing both in any franchise. You could literally get away with doing either or in any given movie, and no one would question it, because that's what Evil Dead has always been. It's been either a horror movie or a horror comedy movie, or in Army of Darkness's case, a comedy movie. Let's be real, that was meant to be a straight-up comedy with, little bits of horror here and there. But, yeah, that's just kind of where my headspace is where I'd like to see these new Evil Dead movies take risks. And also, do, fun, either, in the past or in the future, with new characters, with old characters. The possibilities are really endless. That's really how I kind of see it at the end of the day, is that the possibilities are genuinely endless. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think the Evil Dead franchise should be like now? just comment below, let me know. Do you want to see Ash back? Do you want to see someone else? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the multiverse.